AbaThembu King Buyelekahya Dalindyebo is due to start his 12-year sentence on Wednesday, the 23rd of December. This after the Constitutional Court recently dismissed his application for leave to appeal his conviction for a string of offences dating back to the 1990s. For more on this story, we are joined on the line by reporter Zimkhita Manqinana, who has further details. Zimkhita, a very good afternoon to you. More debates around the king having to go to jail. Wednesday is D-Day for him to start his sentence. Talk to us about the latest developments there.
Yes, on Wednesday, definitely the king of AbaThembu is expected to hand himself over to Zimkhita Correctional Center, to the exact Wellington prison here in Tata, to begin his 12-year sentence. This weekend, we visited some of the affected people of the crimes that he has been convicted of. And they say the 12-year sentence is not enough to amount to the loss that they suffered through the raids that were committed by the king in the early 90s. One of the victims lost his son, but when the king made his appeal to the Supreme Court of Appeal, that charge against him was then struck off. So they are also not satisfied on that issue. However, they say they can't wait to see him handing himself over on Wednesday. It will be a little bit of relief to them.
Look, Zimkhita, there's been a call that the president should relook at this matter, and those people are hoping for some sort of leniency. But really, how is the president involved in this? Does he have a say at all in the matter?
Well, yes and no. We spoke to the spokesperson of the Department of Justice, who was actually explaining to us that the king does have the right to make a submission to the president for amnesty. And he can even do that even before he begins the sentence. But he says no such application has been made to the minister, because the minister must first look at the application. Then once he has been satisfied with the recommendations and the submissions that the king is making, he will then refer it to the president of the country for consideration. But that application has not been made. The consulate in the province has confirmed that they are backing the king, supporting the king, and they are supporting the king because this is the first king to be imprisoned since the inception of democracy in this country. And they were also saying that traditional issues were not really taken into consideration when this case was brought before court. So based on those elements, they would really like the president to look into the matter when they finally hand over their submission. However, Alicia, I must re-emphasize that Wednesday is the deadline for the king, because when he made his application for leave to appeal his 12-year sentence, he was given new bail conditions, which emphasized that should the case be dismissed in the Constitutional Court, he'll be given 14 days to hand himself over. And the 23rd is the last day of those 14 days. So whether he submits the application to the president, whether the president is looking into the matter, whether he has support from whoever, on the 23rd of this month, the king of AbaThembu must hand himself over to Wellington prison.
Zimkhita, before I let you go very quickly, how is the community as well as the royal family preparing for the king's departure?
There are mixed emotions on the ground. Some people are satisfied that justice is taking its course. However, some people are saying that this would be a disgrace to AbaThembu nation to see a king going into prison. We saw earlier this week a group of chiefs close to the family meeting to discuss who will succeed the king when he finally hands him over to prison. And there were a lot of emotions amongst them, because should the king really go into prison, it's going to be the first of its kind. It's going to degrade AbaThembu nation. So there are kind of mixed emotions. Some are happy that these families who were affected by the crimes are getting justice on the other side.
Thank you so much for that. That's Zimkhita Manqinana with the latest regarding the AbaThembu King and his journey to prison on Wednesday.